My name is Sarah Carter-Walshaw. I am a lecturer at IDEA, which is the Ethics Centre here at the University of Leeds. I also run a couple of modules on our programme, Biomedical and Healthcare Ethics, as well as running the programme itself. So the module Ethics at the Beginning of Life is pretty much as it says on the tin. We're going to look at ethical issues that come up at the beginning of life and technically a little bit before then. So we look at things like access to fertility treatment, the ethics around the provision of this, the ethics around how these decisions are made. We also look at questions related to the ethics of abortion and at what point does a human individual get moral status. So at which point do they say we can give this individual a right to life? So in terms of the topics that are covered on this module, we look at everything right from technically prior to conception, so we'll look at things like the preconception welfare principle. So on what basis do, for example, fertility clinics make the decision as to whether or not someone can be offered IVF, right through to when the fetus is in the womb, so questions surrounding, for example, things relating to abortions. At what point does a fetus gain moral status? And also questions around things like fertility treatments that are more perhaps ethically debatable. So, for example, we have a unit where we look at surrogacy and the ethics of having surrogacy, whether or not it should be funded, or whether it's something that people should be allowed to pay for. This module might be interesting to anyone who has a broader interest in ethics at the beginning of life, questions around, for example, fertility treatment, for example, abortion. It's obviously going to be something of quite a lot of interest to people who are perhaps in the healthcare field, but it might be of interest to people from any background. So it could also be something which might be interesting to people who are considering taking our biomedical and healthcare ethics course, but maybe want a bit of a taster before they go on to commit to the full programme. So this module is assessed through essays, so that will be to the inclusion of 2 short essays and 1 slightly longer essay. So that would be 2 500-word essays and a shorter essay of around 2,000 words. So we offer students support and help with their assessments. So students, for example, can submit essay plans that we will look over and give feedback on. Students can come to unit tutors to ask questions about the contents and for help and guidance in writing and planning out their assignments. We will also offer a different kind of feedback which will be unique to each student, where, for example, if a student's a bit unsure about the way that they're phrasing things, we can offer feedback on that, or if they're unsure about the way in which they're trying to build an argument, we can provide them some feedback to work from. If you're interested and would like to apply, then you can go to our website on the University of Leeds website, look for IDEA, look for the course, and there'll be information beyond what I've sort of given you already, and information as well on how to apply.